Hey everyone, what's up? Good morning. This is Dr. Charlie Johnson, PT, and my morning was going pretty well until I saw this new video released about dead butt syndrome, glute amnesia. What in the world is that? Now, of course, I've heard of this before, right? But it doesn't exist. So if you're watching this and you have some type of back, butt, or sciatica problem, don't buy into this. I can't even say it on YouTube. Don't buy into this stuff. It freaks you out. It makes you feel like you're broken, and it makes you feel like you gotta somehow revive your butt cheeks. Don't do that. Let's break down this video, okay? So that you know my thoughts on glute amnesia, on dead butt syndrome, and or whatever else you wanna call it, a glute activation problem. You don't have any of that stuff, you're in pain, and you need help. Let's check it out. All right, everyone. We're going to learn about glute amnesia, also known as dead butt syndrome. And what I'm gonna do in this video is help you understand why it makes no stinking sense and why you don't have to worry about it and why your glutes are working perfectly fine. Let's see what they have to say about dead butt syndrome.
Amnesia, also known as dead butt syndrome, is when your glute muscles forget how to activate when you need.
How in the heck do your glute muscles forget how to activate? I can feel my blood pressure going up. Unless you had some type of traumatic brain injury, which I would wish upon nobody because I used to work with folks who had them, and or some type of other neurological event in the middle of the night, and or something like a Smurf, because I was watching the Smurfs last night, a Smurf slipped underneath your covers and cut the wire to your glutes, the superior gluteal nerve or the L5S1 or something like that, and you just somehow didn't even know about it. Your glutes did not forget how to activate. If you got up this morning, you walked to the computer and now you're watching this. If you drank your coffee and somehow got from point A to point B, if you sat down, lowered yourself using the glutes, and then you got back up off the toilet, because lots of people do that in the morning, then you already know your glutes work. They're not dead. They didn't die. They didn't go anywhere. They didn't go to heaven or wherever you believe dead things go. And they don't need to be activated. They're already active. They're alive. And when you need them to, you don't have to think about when you need your eyes to blink, they just blink. You don't need to think about when your heart needs to beat, it just beats. You don't need to think about, unless you're somebody like me who has asthma, sometimes this happens. You don't need to think about when to breathe and when not to breathe. It just happens. It's on a rhythm. It's linked into the circuitry of your brain. You know what controls your glutes? Not the muscle itself, the nervous system, the wires to it. So again, unless something messed with the main panel box, the brain, the spinal cord, or the wires to it, the glutes are just the end result or the end of the chain, which then function as a result of what they're told to do. So the only way your glutes could die is if your brain died. And if you're not brain dead, then your glutes are fine.
Need them to. This can lead to pain in your back, hips, and knees.
Lots of things can lead to pain in your back, hips, or knees. And is it a common problem? A problem is only a problem if it's actually a problem, or if you make it a problem. Does that make sense? A problem is only a problem if you make it a problem. Dead butt syndrome, glute amnesia, is only a problem if you label it as a problem and you make it exist in your world. Glute amnesia, dead butt syndrome, is not an official diagnosis. It's something that started, I don't even know where, probably in the personal training and or physical therapy world, because we have no clue what the heck causes people to hurt. And we're trying to come up with BS reasons as to why they hurt. So we have to tell people that they're broken so that they can pay us and so that they think that we're smarter than we actually are. We don't actually understand why most people are in pain. And instead of being led to believe that your butt is dead, necrotic, as in you've got some type of, I don't know, maybe you sat on a bag of ice for too long, all right? And or you live in Alaska and you've got hypothermic butt cheeks. You've got burnt buns. That's the only way they could become, I don't know, dead, necrotic, black. Maybe you've got some gangrene that's affected your butt cheeks, your glutes. I don't know, all right? But either way, if it doesn't exist, then how is it a problem? Where are the statistics on gluteal amnesia syndrome? GAS, gas. So now, not only do you have dead butt syndrome, but you have gas. How does that make you feel? All right, here we go.
It's a common problem, especially if you sit for long periods.
No, the logic is really screwed up. That's not true, especially if you sit for long periods of time. Here's the logic. if you put pressure on something long enough, it dies. If you put pressure for long periods of time on your butt cheeks because you sit throughout the day, it dies. That's weird, because if you sit for 8 hours a day, two things. Well, apparently your butt cheeks will forget how to work, all right? But why doesn't my neck or my head forget how to work? I put pressure on it for 8, 9 hours a night when I sleep. But nobody's talking about dead head syndrome. Nobody's talking about dead feet syndrome. I put pressure throughout my feet for way longer than I sit throughout the day. Does that mean that they forget how to work? No, it probably means they work better. You can sit on your butt cheeks as much as you want, and they're not going to die. They're not going to turn black. They're not going to fall off. They're not going to go to heaven. They're not going to forget what to do. Here's a real quick litmus test to know with 100% certainty that even if you've been sitting all day, your glutes are not dead and they didn't forget how to work. Try to stand up now. Stand up, go to the bathroom, or ask yourself, did you get up at all throughout the day? And if you did, which I know you did, and guess what? Your glutes didn't forget how to activate. You didn't have to say, hey, glutes, I'm going to get up. Can you work? Okay, now they're working. They were working the whole time. And notice you didn't have to tell them to activate. They didn't forget. You didn't have to slap them, wake them up, and tell them, hey, get going. They worked just like they were designed to work.
Periods of time. To combat this, exercise.
Now let's learn what we need to do to fix a dead butt. We're going to do CPR on your butt cheeks now, and we're going to revive them because apparently they forget what to do. They've lost their way.
Exercises like glute pumps can help.
So if we just take something that's dead and we try to get it to move, then it'll come alive, right? If we just take something that forgets how to work, apparently it works because we're able to activate it and or pump it up, right? If your glutes were dead, do you think you'd be able to do glute pumps? No, because you need the glutes to activate in order to do glute pumps. So if your glutes forget how to work, then how is it that you're working them? And yes, can activating your glutes prevent pain? Of course it can. Doing lots of things can prevent pain. And that's something, maybe you don't care about this. Look at my hair, it's crazy. It's Saturday morning, and I just don't care what I look like because this is more important, all right? This is what we call a post hoc fallacy. Post hoc fallacy is these people label you as you have dead butt syndrome and or your glutes don't know how to work. And so you believe them and you do glute pumps. And because you do glute pumps, maybe you start to feel better or maybe you don't. And then you say, you know what, they were right. Glute pumps helped me out. They got rid of my pain, so I must have had dead glutes. No. It could be lots of things within this exercise that are helping you out. It could be the fact that maybe you just like hands and knees, and that's a comfy position for you, and it doesn't hurt. It could be because you're putting all the weight on your right leg, and that's working something on the right side that's helping your left side. It could be because, yeah, you're working your glutes in this, but it's also working your back. It could be because you're just getting your body moving in a way that makes you feel stronger than you have in years. It could be because you like the color of her shoes. It could be because you like the color of her voice. It could be because you love looking at the blue calm table that you're doing it on. It could be because you start glute pumps and spring's right around the corner and you've been in a deep, dark depression because it's cold outside and you just want to smell some flowers. Just because someone tells you have something and then you do something and then it works doesn't mean they were right, doesn't mean they were wrong, doesn't mean anything. You have to stop looking at things in absolutes. There are many reasons that doing something like this could help you. And just because something does or doesn't work doesn't necessarily mean that you're right or wrong. In the medical community, we have a way of telling people that they should sit like this, or they shouldn't sit like that, or they should sleep like this, or they shouldn't sleep like that, or this is right, or this is wrong, or this is good, or this is bad, when none of that exists. You know what exists? That which works for you. And the only way you figure that out is by following a system, following a process, and being scientific in doing so. And instead of caring about the theory of which is dead glute syndrome, or this or that, which will just have you pumping your glutes up all day, I don't know how you're pumping them up because they're dead to begin with and they don't know how to pump up, but apparently they remembered at least a little bit. Live in the world of finding what feels best for you versus that which you've been told to do. And forget about the reasons why you should do something or why you shouldn't do something. If it works for you, screw it. Even if it goes against everything you've been told and or led to believe. Keep going.
Activate your glutes and prevent pain. Start on all fours and kick towards the ceiling. Try to do more of an oscillating motion versus full range of motion.
I have no idea why you would want to do more of an oscillating motion versus a full range of motion. Maybe because we're trying to activate them more. If the switch doesn't work like this, up and down, maybe you just go like this at the top and it'll work better.
And aim for 30 reps total. You can
30 reps? I don't know why. I have no idea why we're doing 30 reps and why that's an aim. Why not 12? Why not 20? Doesn't matter. Do them till you're tired and you'll be fine.
also perform this exercise while leaning on a countertop.
And so again, there could be many reasons as to why maybe glute pumps work or don't work. Everyone thinks that, oh, I'm working the left leg here. I've got a pain in my left butt cheek. I need to work the left leg. If you want to. But is it possible that standing on the right leg and working the right butt cheek in this case, or putting weight on your right arm or your left arm, is actually the part of this exercise that could be helping you? Now, to make you think really outside of the box, one of my mentors, brilliant mentors, said to me one time, he said, Dr. Charlie. He didn't say Dr. Charlie. He said, what's up, Chuck? That's what he said, probably. All right. Let's just say you have a pain in the back left butt cheek. And that's why you're trying to get it to work, because it doesn't work anymore because you watch stuff like this. But now you know it does work. All right. You might be thinking, I have pain in my left butt cheek. I need to work that left butt cheek or do something with that left butt cheek. But think of it like this, way outside the box thought process. A little bit of analogy here. Imagine there's a deer in the woods and it injures, in this case, its back left leg. Let's just say it broke its back left leg. What allows it to get better? What allows that back left leg to heal? If you're like most people, you're going to say, well, they start limping around. So they remove the weight off the back left leg, right? That's one possibility. But is it possible that it's not the fact that they remove the weight off the back left leg, but the fact that they put more weight through the other three legs, maybe the back right leg or the two front legs or all three? Deer in the woods, broken back left leg. What makes it get better? Would you think I was crazy if I said, because it puts weight on the other three legs and that's what allows that back left leg to get better? Because it forces more load through other things that do work versus that which doesn't work. You might think I'm crazy, and I'm cool with that, but something to make you think differently. And really what I want you to challenge by this whole video is not only what people are like tell you, and not only what people make you believe and or the seeds that are planted in your brain, but the fact that, is it possible that everything you've been led to believe or you think is true about getting out of pain is not? And so I chat with people every day who are like, I did everything. What are you going to do different? I did everything that you know. And you don't know what you don't know. And if you knew the answer, you would be doing the answer. But you don't know. And that which you don't know will keep you from getting better because you think you do know. Just something to think about, okay? So nobody knows everything, but if you're in pain and you're doing stuff and it's working, great, awesome, keep doing it. But if it's not working, you need to consider that you don't know what you don't know. And you can't use the same knowledge that you used to create the problem. Might even be a video like this, the knowledge that this video gave you, right? You can't use the same knowledge that you used to create the problem to solve the problem. And consider that, like, there's maybe something that you just can't see. Let's see what else they got to say. We'll wrap this up.
Getting down on your hands and knees is hard for you. So give it a try and get your
butt muscles were never working improperly. You might have some lesser strength, or you might have some, I don't know, tightness or this and that, but we may never know either at the end of the day. I could care less about trying to answer, hey, why does this thing work or why does this thing not work? Exercises are just inputs, and your system receives those inputs. And your brain, your body, figure out what to do with them. And something happens when you move your body. or when you do any type of treatment intervention, any type of input to the system, it either likes it and it makes you feel better. It either like it, but it doesn't do anything, doesn't change anything, and or it makes you worse. It doesn't like it, it spits it back out. Think of your system, your brain and your body, as one connected unit. And you can use multiple things, multiple gears within that system to change your pain experience. And think of anything you do as an input, a thing that you can try on if you do it systematically and scientifically to determine the output. And so it's like you're this system, and we're just putting pieces of code into it to see what happens. But you have to have a process for figuring that out. All right, so I know I'm going to catch a lot of junk for this. I can hear it now. Dr. Charlie, you're throwing people under the bus. It's very unprofessional of you. You shouldn't do that. I will do it. And I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for you. Because if you watched stuff like that, which is fabricated, made up, and if we let people just get away with posting whatever they want, at the end of the day, if it's not going to benefit you, and I think that it's going to lead you down a rabbit hole and lead you astray, I'm going to call it out. And so if they need to be thrown under the bus, they will be thrown under the bus as many times as they need to be thrown under the bus. We're not going to put, glute amnesia, dead butt syndrome, do this now on our titles or on our thumbnails to get more clicks. But at the end of the day, I'm more about doing what is right for you. If you're serious about solving this problem, then you can watch all kinds of stuff because you like the person and you think they're really smart and they help you out with something else. That's fine, go do that. But if it's not working, then hopefully I can challenge you to think of things in a different way. Your glutes are not dead. They did not forget how to activate. They did not forget how to turn on. You don't have dead butt syndrome or glute amnesia, okay? So hopefully this video was helpful. Hopefully that's just another thing that you can get out of your brain. You don't need to feel broken wherever you are watching this, like you need to now fix your dead butt. And you know it's a lie, because if you sit all day, for example, on your butt, and you can get up and go to the toilet or go to the printer or go get a drink or do whatever you do, then that's an easy way of just checking to make sure your butt's still alive. And if you've been able to do that to this point, then you're doing okay. All right. But again, I refuse to just let stuff float out there. I had to do something, even though it's crazy Saturday morning. My hair's all screwed up. I refuse to let this stuff get by, because what it does, it makes people like you in pain feel more broken, more helpless, more confused, and more indebted to see, I need to rely on someone else to figure this out because I can't. And you can, you just need the right direction. And direction like that is going to lead you the wrong way. So hopefully this was useful. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Are you angry at me? Am I too excited? I had one person say the other day, you're angry. Because I am a little angry, but I'm passionate, right? And when I see people like you in pain out there searching the internet for good information and you come across that junk, I'm just not okay with that. All right, let me know your thoughts below. Hit the subscribe button if this was helpful and or changed your view in any way. Maybe it gave you some hope. Maybe it freed you up to know that you don't have to worry about trying to do CPR on your butt cheeks. All right, you don't have to wake them up. They're awake. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications so that when we go live every single week and or on Saturdays, when we just get excited about something, then that would be awesome. Okay, so let me know your thoughts below. Thanks so much, everyone. Until the next time, stay well.